to listen to all these very serious concerns before they pass this ordinance.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Nemitz. The real Ms. Nemitz.
I didn't quite get to discuss everything the last time I was here. Ester Nemitz, 162B Bay Street. There's another section of the statute which talks about the fact that the municipality shall file with the local finance board a certified copy of the ordinance introduced and a request that the board indicate whether the project will generate revenues annually for the municipality from rental payments, loan repayments, real property taxes, including payments in lieu of taxes, income from the reinvestment of proceeds of obligations authorized by the ordinance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The point is that when it comes to the question of having a redevelopment agency finance, one place that they can also get their money is from their taxes. The taxes that would have gone to the taxpayers that instead go into supporting the redevelopment agency. I think that this is an important thing to consider because it's not an issue that we have at this time. We've had a lot of major redevelopments in this town. Certainly Federal Business Systems and Summit Associates and Heller Park are some of our biggest developments in this community, have always paid their taxes, and they have not cost us to see that they were developed. I don't know that we really should be getting into expending our taxes, not only having developers pay for this so that they want something, but that we lose our tax money for this. One of the things that came up about the intercap development was what was going to happen with the income. And one of the things that they said they wanted to do was to spend our tax money fixing the roads. Well, from my point of view, a lot of that is county roadway, and the county should be paying for it. We shouldn't have to pay Edison tax dollars to intercap to go and fix our roads. I think the same thing faces us with the redevelopment agency, and I really think that we should consider how we're doing. Now, if you want to talk about Jackson Avenue, I have a lot to say about Jackson Avenue because when that issue came before the planning board recently, I pointed out some of the issues about that. One of which was that all those little homeowners in the back down there, some of them were asked to please sell their properties when this was first being discussed for redevelopment back in 1999. I don't think they appreciated it then. And there are now there's a brand new house down at the end of the street behind Little Avenue, which is in the redevelopment zone. I know that PSE&G has never been totally thrilled about the fact that they were included in the zone because they're set for life there, I think. I don't think they ever want to be redeveloped, and the only reason that they were included was because there was a desire to extend Logan Avenue down along the Greenway to go out to Pearson Avenue as another road avenue, if you will. And there are certainly a lot of ways that we could have negotiated that if we really wanted to get it done, as opposed to including all of the PSE&G property in a redevelopment area, when I'm sure that's not really what was appropriate. I could go on. And I certainly have lots to say about Amboy Avenue, because the zoning board just made a really difficult decision. Because that Amboy Avenue revitalization zone has no parking provision for any business or any development of any kind on the street, they just approved a 2-story office building with 3 parking spaces right next to Coolidge and Hoover Avenues, which is really outrageous. And they did this knowing that 6 months ago they got recommendations from the planner to discuss things like putting a parking requirement into that ordinance. Now, if this is how we're going to do redevelopment in town, this is not good. We need to really take a look at some things here. And I'm going to be back to discuss some of those things, not tonight, but in the future. Thank you.
Council President?
Sir.
May I just add a point of clarity? Several of the speakers have talked about needing more time to research and study the idea of redevelopment agency. And just for the record, this issue has started a discussion probably in November of 2007. In fact, the previous council voted November 17th to go further with the redevelopment agency. So there's been approximately 180 days that this current council could have researched, talked to other council members, talked to experts about redevelopment. So I would think that almost 6 months is probably enough time to research the matter, one way or another, in favor or against.
Council President?
Sir?
If I might, that resolution that Mr. Cancro is referencing approved the concept of putting together an application to take a look at the possibility of a redevelopment agency. As has been pointed out repetitively, no council member has been provided through the clerk's office a copy of that application, sir.
Council President, with all due respect, the issue came up. The issue came up more time to study the issue. The only point I was trying to make was that this started at least 6 months ago, probably 7 or 8 months ago, and that this current council has had 6 months of their own time to research it when they had an opportunity. That's my only point.
Council President, point of privilege, please. That may well be accurate. However, the application that this council authorized being put together has never been seen by this council, at least not officially.
Sir.
Bruce Papkin, 38 Burger Drive. Not to be trite, but wow, this has been some meeting. You've got an attorney who was thought to be on the payroll, who's not on the payroll, so he doesn't have to give up his financial statement. Then you have this gentleman who's saying that the other council approved the redevelopment agency, and you have 6 months or more to review it, and nobody's reviewed anything. Nobody saw anything. I went on the web in 2 days. I got more information about a redevelopment agency than I hear any of you talking about. Methinks something stinks in Edison. Plain and simple. And it's with this council. And I don't know why. You're part of us. You live here, for God's sakes. You know, and I'm confused. I really am. And I hate to quote Vinnie Barbarino, but my God, I'm so confused. I mean, to develop an South Asian area of Edison to make people feel proud to be here? I mean, at the risk of sounding like a racist, go home. I mean, for God's sakes, I don't need people to come here and then have to change everything so they could feel like they're home. You're here. You came to America to become Americans. Be American. My grandfather, my grandmother were Italian. They came here. My father's mother and father were from Russia. They came here. They learned how to speak English. They assimilated into the country. And unfortunately, none of us speak the old tongue. But I got to tell you, a lot has been said tonight, and none of it's good. And the other thing is that the people who were on John Choi's slate, who got elected, you are either gullible or you're bought into something that I just can't understand. Because, believe me, I'm not dumb. But I certainly would have to read something. I would certainly have to analyze it and make certain I knew what I was voting on before I voted. And if you vote on this, the four of you, I feel very, very firm in my belief that you will not be on this council next time.